Hi, this is Ushio. Welcome back to Golden Treasure. In the last episode, we kinda got killed, had to start again, got super strong, and took some drugs. And we can take more drugs if we want. But we're not going to do that. We're going to check out what this is. Here we go. Casting about the shore of one of the eponymous twin lakes, you discover an interesting potential source of treasure. Though it gleams the rarest shinestone, it is not, nor is it a gem, it's amber, made out of the essence of trees and refined by time. Water has cleansed and polished it to perfection. There is, however, an issue. The majority of it is trapped beneath quite a few large stones. Moving them would be no challenge to an elder, but unfortunately thousands of turnings stand between you and that vaunted title. Do you want to put your strength to the test? I mean, I don't think we're strong enough. No, I will not spend my son wrestling with rocks. Because, yeah, I don't think we're strong enough. We'll leave that. And we can try somewhere else. So we got areas of the map we haven't explored yet. So, what can we do? I mean, there's a couple of areas we still haven't explored, but let's check out this area. We need to expand our horizons a little bit. What have we got here? This area has an odd topography. Curiously regular hills dot the lightly wooded vales, giving it its name, the Barrows. Hillbacks roam the misty land and are said to be one of the finest meals a kin can partake of, but even a full-grown kin would not attack one of that doughty tribe unprepared. Okay, we got some new food, but it could kick the shit out of us, so we'll be careful. We'll not deal with that just yet. Maybe we should keep getting the map open. I don't know. Back on the map. What should we check out? What's this? Let's try this out. Bees. Okay. Many of the tiny beings of the Great Green most have 6 legs and are clad in coloured armour, hopping, fluttering or marching to and fro, alone or in harmonious swarms. Though crunchy and tongue amusing, they are generally much too small to be of notice to a mighty kin. This sun, however, you come upon the golden village of a particularly well-ordered species of tiny beings, their bodies streaked in sun yellow and night black. You decide to call them honeybuzz, for the sound their wings make and the strange syrupy substance with which they fill their hexagonal homes. While most such beings have small minds, like single sparks of yellow or green, or red when angered, and by and large these are no exception, the settlement is home to a more advanced being, one who carries the essence of all the hive within itself, a honeybuzz archbertha. It calls out to you, and you are surprised at the complexity and elegance of its mind song. The archbertha requests your help. A lesser lumberer has been attacking the honeybuzz's village and devouring their honey, damaging the walls and killing many of their tiny hatchlings in the process. It claims to know the location of what it calls the useless flower, an object which it believes would be of interest to a kin who seeks treasure. It promises to show you the useless flower if you can save its wax village from the lumberer. Will you take on the honeybuzz archbertha's request and hunt the lesser lumberer in the sun? Okay, you're strong enough to agree to the dance of destruction. They're very strong decline, at least for now. Let's go for it. Finding the lesser lumberer is not so difficult. It's fat and successful, fearing little due to its size and strength. The dance of destruction begins. Oh, it was right there. Okay, so we're gonna fight this thing. This thing is big. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. Actually, I'm not ready for this at all. Shall we run? Let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. What should we do? Let's do a venomous bite. That is nice. That is nice. I like that. So how should we follow up? Let's do a bite. Okay. Your enemy is now injured. Oh shit, it's gone up on its hind legs. What does that mean? That must mean something. What should we do? A fire attack? We don't do many of these. Let's try. What we got? A fire flash. Intimidate. How about a charge? Let's go in there. Go for it. We took a hit. We took a hit. But we did win. The fight is vicious, which surprises you. Lumberers often turn away when confronted with true resistance. but it is fond of the honeybud's regurgitation for some reason. It does not taste good to you at all. In the end, however, you are victorious. You silence the lumberer, eat much of its flesh, which tastes very good, and leave the useless remainder beneath the honeybud's settlement as a warning to others. Got lots of energy from that. The grateful Archbertha dispatches several of her warrior offspring to guide you to your promised prize, a crystal in the shape of a flower, eternally blooming from a small boulder and hidden by many flowers of a more regular kind. You can see why a honeybuzz would find this unliving flower useless, but the kin would call it something else. Treasure. We got some treasure. Feels good. Yeah, it might be impossible to collect pollen from it, but to a treasure gathering animal, this would be far from useless. Very nice. We did get wounded though, so maybe we should take a nap, and that would help us heal up somewhat. Because we are going to get invaded quite soon. Okay. Oh no, how are we doing? Body's in fine condition. Your abilities are unaffected by any wounds. Okay, no problem. Maybe we should visit Darktooth. We'll do that. I got a little bit of money and I got a couple of items I'm curious about. Like the flower that we just bought. I've got an interesting object. 5 things a pop. Tell me about the crystal flower. Darktooth casually sniffs the offered object and explains its origin and value. You're no longer ignorant. I mean, let's just ask all the questions. And then we can have a look. Got the silver rod, and then we got the onyx rod as well. So let's check these out. I think I can actually find out what these things are myself. However, it's just quicker this way. Has no special powers, though one cannot help but wonder how something like this came into existence. It's worth 35 shiny things. Okay. Got the silver rod. Seems to be some kind of key meant to unlock something. Is that the same thing? The onyx rod. Okay, I've got the dog. I don't think it's worth anything. Perhaps a few kin might think it a delicacy, but it's generally worthless as a treasure. It consumes a certain amount of food per day. We got a boom, which might come into use very soon. I got a bloodstone. This was from a badger I defeated a while ago. So, yeah, we can use that. We've got a lodestone, which is magnetic, and we got 4 shiny things left, which isn't many. Okay, I think that is it. Go back to our lair. And that didn't take up a day, which is kind of cool. Let's unlock a little bit more of the map then. What's up here? What's up north? Another dragon. The River's Edge area is a name often given to the land near the Wormwood bank of the Shallow River, the largest body of fresh water in the Great Green. The meadows here are home to great grazers, which are excellent to eat but very strong. You also smell the proximity of another kin. Perhaps a visit to its territory on the Coldwood bank may be in order. Okay, more neighbours. I'm not sure what to do. We could keep exploring. Maybe we could go for a hunt. I'm not sure. So how are we doing? We're in perfect health. Energy levels look good. We got a free day. Where should we go? There's like more map over here. Is that all of the map if I do that? So let's get all of the map unlocked then. We'll do that. Let's see who's here. Any more dragons? What is that? All kinds of stuff. You have reached the edge of the Great Blue, said to coil around the world, home to many of the Sapphire clan of the kin. Hunting in the deeps is therefore unwise, but many good beasts of the land find the fresh breezes and broad meadows here pleasant, and may be hunted by ambitious young kin. So it might be dangerous if I go too far in that direction. Options. Let's have a look. Where shall we go? We could visit the dragon. I don't want to get into a fight if I can help it though. That could be a problem. What about the shooting star? This is interesting. Let's check this out. Wow, look at that thing. It is evening. The dying sun is cradled by the tender horizon, the stars are being born, and as you lie beneath them enjoying their beauty, you are dazzled by a sudden flash of light. A bright sphere is drawing a streak of light across the sky, a star descending from the great above, screaming as it falls, and you realise it will land in your territory. You find yourself running toward it, the hunter within awakened. The falling star crashes just out of sight. You feel the impact in your heartbone. A shockwave of dust and light explodes through the nearby trees. Okay, what have we got? As reality settles from the fall and you emerge from the green, you see before you a crater in the earth, a hole many body lengths wide. In the centre of it, there was a star lies nestled and smoking, an offspring of the beyond. The smell is like no fire of this world. Cautiously, tongue flicking outward, you venture down into the centre of the pit, one pore at a time. Upon reaching the star, you look more closely at the surface. The beautiful and oddly shaped rock appears riddled with small indentations, glistening and gleaming in the light of the new risen moon. Heavenfall Shinestone, a grand treasure indeed, though you have no idea how you're going to get it back to your lair. You're still admiring it when a strong wind blows and the stars above you are obscured by a huge winged shape. Who is this? An enormous kin lands on the cusp of the crater. It is several times your size, more massive even than Darktooth. It must be nearly as ancient as Earth herself. Its thick lapis armour smells of brine, and its armour bears ancient scars uncountable. It stands proud and tall, looking down on you and your treasure-to-be with eyes of black and gold. Slowly, it reaches out with a warm and soft song. "O little childkin, know me, I am Fathom, mate of the great blue, and knower of its inner ways, from turnings beyond thought. Your dry domain is blessed this moon with a falling sky egg. My truth-drowned mind wishes to reach beyond blessed earth, to know what lies beyond. I have known the lower void, furthest depths of the blue, and now I must know the upper world, the above everlasting. Thus shall I receive from you this fallen star, and the wealth and mysteries which lie within." The song is outwardly gentle, but the colours and tone make it clear that it expects you to give over this great treasure. Tradition would dictate that it is yours, having fallen into your territory, but what do you want to do? I mean... give it freely? It's not giving me much in the way of a clue. Flatly refuse that it's gonna fight us and kill us probably. Politely request treasure in exchange. Politely challenge Fathom to a battle of wits. Give it freely. I really don't know what to do. Because this guy could kill us in a second, you know? But it seems bad just to give it over for no reason. Okay, what's it worth ya? The elder indulgently listens as you fold back your wings in a display of humility and requests that tradition be honoured with an exchange of goods. You acknowledge that Fathom is powerful enough to take whatever it wishes, but you believe it's going to be honourable. Fathom's head bobs twice, and you are briefly terrified that it will breathe the notorious secret thunder of the sapphire drag upon you, but instead it coughs up a shimmering sphere. It glistens in the dirt like a perfect miniature moon. This is a pearl, born of the discomfort of the voiceless, shaped over many turnings, by secret dwellers of the great blue. My trove is rife with these baubles, but in the dry lands such a thing is rare. I offer it in exchange for the sky egg. While much smaller than the fallen star, it is quite beautiful indeed, and worth many shiny things. The elder's thought colours make it clear that no better offer will be forthcoming, so you meekly accept the pearl. Satisfied, the elder seizes the sky-fallen object, wrenches it from the ground, and flies off with it setwards into the cool evening air. Your prize is a little too large for you to safely swallow. You carry it back to your lair in your mouth, like an egg, and place it carefully in your trove. You have given up a greater treasure for a lesser one, but at least you have obtained something. Had you attempted to fight the elder, you might have lost all, including your life. Considering that truth, you have done well. Okay, we got a pearl. I think that's a fair compromise. While this looks like a stone, it does not smell like one. The scent reminds you of the great blue. Okay. The discomfort of the voiceless, it almost looks like an egg to me. But I think that's probably about as well as we could have expected from that situation. Anymore, we probably would have got nothing or killed. Here we go. This one is invading. You hear a sudden challenge travel through the afternoon air. Behold, the flower of earth has come. Our magnanimous patron challenges the holder of these lands. Stand before the one who rises and prepare for vagrancy. You are certainly being summoned to defend your territory, but there's something strange. The voice is not that of a Drac. Greetings, Drac. Okay, so we've done this before. This guy invades, and to get by him, we kind of had to fight two other things first, so it kind of wears you down. How is my situation? Good health, well fed. So we're at the top of our game, and we're feeling pretty strong. Fingers crossed this is enough. So what should we do? Hidden option. We cannot do that. Let's try a battle of wits. Maybe that. The heralds boast that Bloom is immune to contest of wits. Was apparently not idle. Bloom is an exceptionally intelligent kin and defeats your riddles one after another. No good. I think we tried that before. It didn't work out. Question? I mean, I don't think there's any point in questioning. So, yeah, we've done all this shit before, I think. Except the fact that there's no song which will challenge these creatures' hardened minds. I guess there's no option. Let's have the fight. So it's 3-1. Having to fight several beasts is not a welcome departure from tradition, but there is no law against it. Bloom has somehow nurtured such loyalty in its disciples that they are willing to fight even a Drac. Only by defeating Bloom's vanguard of Tuscan Horn can you advance to the true fight. An unusual dance of destruction begins. Here we go then. So I'm going to have to fight this goat thing. It's not that strong. So hopefully we can get by. Not too bad. Also, if it comes to it, I do have a bomb. So I will use that if it comes to it. So let's just attack, shall we? Let's just go with a basic one. A venomous bite, I think so. Your enemy is injured. That is cool. It's gone yellow. That means it's wounded and injured and stuff. Let's go for a bite. Okay. That is good. First enemy out of the way. Now it's this pig. And this pig is strong. Aren't they more earth type, aren't they? So maybe I should start out with a fire attack. Or maybe the poison would actually be good. Let's go with the venomous bite. If we can poison it, that's gonna help. Okay, we're still in good condition. This guy battered. So what have we got? Let's go over here. Let's go with a charge. Go straight in. Oh, we've been hurt. We've been hurt. Okay, your wounds are now beginning to slow you down. It's a scary time. Swift strike or a roar? I'm not sure. I think I want to stick with my classics. Look, I've used my fire attack, and that means I can't use fire again for a bit. So I'm limited now. Let's go for a flowing strike. One of my classic attacks. That is good. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. How are we? We are battered. Until you recover, your capabilities will be slightly diminished. We are wounded. So what should we do? Let's just go in with a big one. Such was the Enlightened One's power, that with only a few sigils, it could douse the flames of rage in its enemy and render it weak and docile. You're battered. Okay, I don't know. Let's try poison again. Water on water. I was tempted to go fire, so I'm glad I did not. Okay, let's go for a regular bite. Okay, we are hurt. We are hurt. Shall we use it? Let's use the boom. Let's go for it. You deal severe damage. Who's dead? Who's dead? Yes! That was close. That was so close. Defeating 3 large belligerent fur beasts and one of the blessed kin would be a feat worthy of a full-grown Drac, and Bloom seems shocked that you have won despite your youth. Blooded and humiliated, it flees, and tales of your ferocity are told among good beasts far and wide. There we go. Bloom has been defeated and driven away. Victory is yours once more, as is another feather token of your power. As it passes out of your territory, you hear Bloom's herald announce, "Rejoice, believers in the Perfect One. Hierophant and Overlord reveals that this was not the promised land, but merely a test of our loyalty, which we have passed. Rejoice! Most good beasts, however, are quite aware of the truth. You have crushed another invader, and the Spiritwood, heart of the Great Green, remains yours and yours alone. That was good, and we got ourselves another feather. This is the colourful and elegant feather from the Crown of Bloom, the beast-shielded invader whom you bested. Good. But we are wounded. It is time for naps. But that was the dragon that killed us before. We definitely need to rest up. Oh, that was scary. And we're going to need to eat as well. We need to recharge completely. But yeah, I hate that dragon. That is the dragon that caused me to restart the entire game. And I did not appreciate that. Okay, we are hungry. Time for food. Shall we go somewhere new? Aren't all these things super strong and gonna kick our ass? Let's go for something regular. Let's go for piggies. Let's do this. Good. I want to survive. I don't want to risk a hunt just now. Okay. The Tusksnort hatchling is an easy place to start. We must move quickly. Sneak. Sneak. Let's observe a little bit. Because it does add up. Over time it does add up. Alright, strike this thing. We've got to get our hunger levels back up. One hit kill. That is good. And that is some tasty shit. That is a good one. Let's try a riskier one. What should we go for? I think they're just adult pigs. It is risky actually. But let's do it anyway. Okay, we can sneak and we can observe. Sneaky sneak. Okay. And then let's observe twice. It all counts, right? Cool, let's go for it. Good hit. So how wounded is it? It is crippled. So that should just be a regular hit. This is why I don't worry too much about the fighting, because most of the prey I can kind of sneak up on quite well. So that is some good energy. We are basically topped up. We don't really need to do any more, do we? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Retire for this sun. We are the people of the open senses, tasting scents in the air beyond the dream of others. We smell what is hidden below Earth's rich skin and become one with it, tasting the joy of life. Life and death we face with a warrior's soul, unyielding to despair. When seasoned with courage in the heart and love for family, all of the world is a feast. This is our way, the good way of the Tusksnorts. That's it. We've mastered another animal. That was very cool. So, we have got this pearl. Maybe we should ask Darktooth about it, but I don't think I've got money. So, maybe not. How much money have I got? 4. That is not enough. But we do have our doggy. And we got all these treasures. Consume the dog. No. Use a bloodstone. Spend some researching. Exit the den. Let's exit. And we will explore. So yeah, the food levels do go down quicker because I am looking after the dog, but never mind. Let's visit a neighbour. Hopefully we won't get killed. Following the shallow river which runs through the Spiritwood to the Great Blue, you come upon a clearly and frequently marked scent boundary. One of the kin claims this green and pleasant land as its territory, known as the Riverwood, for its harmonious combination of plants and fresh, clean water. Plants of every kind are abundant here, and beasts as well. Hunting here would probably be very easy, but to hunt in another kin's territory without first announcing oneself would be a breach of custom. What do you want to do? Oh, hunt anyway. Wow. Sing a song of annunciation. Let's say hello. Your song has barely echoed through the trees when the young adult kin appears. It is one of your own Emerald clan, and a rather stunning specimen. Yo, what's up? I am the arranger of proper order. My correctness shines unbaited. It pauses briefly to smooth out its chest feathers, making certain none are out of place, and preens its crest before continuing. Okay, he's a bit of a perfectionist. I am the putter of things in place, the one who remembers forgotten distances. I am the lord and keeper of the riverwood, preserver of the perfect demise. This kin seems rather proud of its custodianship of the region. In your mind, you name it Warden. It peeks through the feathers of its right wing, examining them, as it waits for you to state your business. What do you want to do? I mean, you look good. Acknowledge Warren's territory, ask it to acknowledge yours. Ask about the no-tells. Okay. Let's compliment its appearance. Walden preens itself as it listens to your praise. This body is indeed superior, but still maddeningly imperfect. This talon is slightly shorter than its mate on my other forepaw. The colour of this feather on my breast is off by a fraction of a shade from what it should be, and those are not all. Still, I move toward perfection. My flaws are fewer than they were. Eventually, I shall attain it. Okay. Can you acknowledge my territory, please? Before I respond, answer what defines beauty. Okay. Order, passion, symmetry, functionality, correctness. Beauty cannot be defined, say that you do not know. Let's say it cannot be defined? Or you tell me. I don't know, you tell me. Walden stretches its neck upwards, looking down on you imperiously. Then it will please me to teach you. Beauty is order, nothing more, nothing less. All things have an ideal form, and an ideal world exists in which they indicate through their symmetry. Have you not seen the stars in the night sky? Some are bright and some dim, but they all have their place. Their dance is so perfect that it has become permanent, an unchanging stasis. We too could be like they are, immutable, immortal. I have endeavoured to make my domain a monument to order, with not even a leaf nor stone out of place. It has not been easy, and chaos constantly menaces, but one day I will have the perfect territory. Okay, got some earth mastery. Now sing of my way. Is it not good? Is it not just? I have sacrificed many suns, even moons and turnings, to my pursuit of perfection. Can you deny its result? Is my territory not the most beautiful? Agree that Walden's actions are good and just, and its territory is the most beautiful. Disagree on practical grounds. Disagree on moral grounds. His idea of perfection may not coincide with that of other beings, enforcing its land and creatures to be and act as it wishes. It violates the Great Way. I mean, he doesn't sound like the most flexible of dragons, so let's just agree. Walden preens its feathers fastidiously. Indeed, I find you a reasonable dragon. If it pleases the spirit of the Great Green to have you as a seneschal of the Innerlands, I will offer no debate. Your boundary markers shall go unchallenged, and your hunting grounds undisturbed by me. Since you agree to my way, your only logical course of action is to do as I have done, and make your territory a monument to order. Allow no foreign influences, and shun both exception and inaction. I look forward to seeing how beautiful your lands will become. Your flattery has pleased Walden, but other kin, hearing that you agree with its bizarre way, may think less of you. Okay, your reputation went down. What do you want to do? Tell me about the no-tails. Those filthy, degenerate other spawn, it huffs, lashing its tail back and forth. They creep about the periphery of my lands and disturb my order. I have made certain that none who enter my territory leave alive. They do not belong here, and as long as they remain, order is threatened. Their pollution, their chaos, is inextricable from their natures. In the end, however, they are nothing but other spawn, and easily destroyed. Such pitiful, weak, twisted things are not worth another moment of consideration. We defile our songs merely by thinking about those disgusting droppings of the defilers of long ago. Okay, can I go now? Walden turns away from you, by way of dismissal. I encourage you to embrace order and perfection. They alone shall lead the way to the future of the kin. Unless you are bold or foolish enough to challenge me for my territory, I wish you well. As you leave, you note that Walden's territory is indeed very beautiful in a way, but it's so rigid, so intentional as to be almost disquieting. You wonder if the spirit of the Great Green truly wants such a thing as perfection. Okay, we met another guy, and he's a bit of a crank, but it's no problem. At least we're friends, sort of, and we can kind of respect each other in our own particular way. That is kind of cool. So what should we do next? Am I strong enough to go to the Great Green, or shall we have another look for some treasure? Or shall we look over here? We haven't... What is this? Let's try this. Okay, today's travel through the green brings you to a scene of suspended chaos. Before you lie signs a small yet vicious battle. The base of trees scarred by a claw and tooth, dirt ripped from the earth in half-realised piles, spit and froth coating large chunks of half-chewed tree armour. Though you search for tufts of fur, feathers, or the scent of spilled essence, there are no signs of any injury. If you look at the scene as a whole, you can almost see how the battle unfolded, each advance and defence as they fought onward into the wood, leaving a trail of oddly clean destruction behind them. You may follow the battle further to its source, or leave the creatures to their combat and do something else. 2 battle-weakened creatures would prove an easy and filling meal, but there is a strangeness here which threatens to be deadly. On the other hand, if you do not investigate, you may never know the truth of the matter. How do you want to proceed? Okay, let's have a look. You steel yourself and push on. After a short hunt, you reach the source of the devastation. Oddly, it is a partnerless dance, a single lone beast. A greater stinkstrike, panting and drooling, stares blankly at the damage. It turns to you and projects a mind song unnatural and unclear, like burning water. Inside it lives, grows, it burns. I must share it. Don't want to share it, don't want to obey it. Don't fight. Fight, spread it hurts. Please run, please die. The creature bares its teeth and snaps at you, scratching the ground. It moves erratically, and its body twitches and pulls on itself, as if fighting its own urges. What do you do? This thing has got like rabies or something like this. Face the creature in combat. No, I'm going to get infected. Withdraw. Convince the creature to allow you to destroy it. Dude, you're ill. Can I help put you out of your misery, maybe? You gently step back, keeping your distance. You feel the pain, despair, and confusion. Whatever is inside this greater stinkstrike is tearing apart both its body and its mind, and the agony must be unbearable. You pour truth outward in song. Good beast, I know your pain, your rage, and your fear. The shadow of destruction lies heavy on you, and you cannot escape, and soon it will claim you. Yet you have one final choice. The wrongness within you hungers for more. It wishes to spread to others, to drive your people, all people, to madness and destruction. Recall the courage of your tribe. Remember the honour of the stinkstrikes, who have driven away mighty foes by their courage alone. Let me bring you a swift and clean end, so that the wrongness shall die here, and your children's children will live in peace, in a great green, free of evil. The power to bring this to a true end lies now with you. Submit to this good destruction, and rest, at last, in peace. At this, the stinkstrike's eyes become clearer, less crowded. Swallowing down the chaos, it takes a few measured steps in your direction, twists its head to expose its throat, and sings desperately. Quickly, finish it. A single motion drives you forward, and you tear the creature's throat open, spraying its essence against a nearby tree. It slumps to the ground, writhes briefly, and then is still. You waste little time, burying the body deep in the Great Mother's flesh. Finally, you bow your head, committing the noble fur beast to your memory. Even with its mind being eaten away by whatever was inside of it, its spirit was strong enough to submit to your justice, going willingly to destruction so that others might not suffer. Truly, this was a worthy child of the green, and though others may never know of it, many were spared by its sacrifice. In such ways is the world slowly saved every day by the good. Okay, your actions are earning a reputation for compassion. But yeah, that guy, I'm pretty sure it was something like rabies, and that was a bit of a nasty business. Oh, what should we do? How are the hunger levels? Local good beast sing of your strength and wisdom, spreading your renown far and wide. Ah, that's kind of cool. We look a little bit hungry, but I think we're good for just a little bit more. So, there's nothing over here. I think we have discovered all of this map now. So we can always take some more drugs. Let's not. We don't want to become a drug addict, so that'd be a bad thing. What is this? A fox. While ranging about the stepwood area of your territory, you have found a red anomaly. The green here is merged. You can smell it clearly. Each plant, tree, tiny being and even beast shares a scent. You have never known anything like this to be the case. Personal scent is usually quite personal. What is even more interesting is that the shared scent is highly reminiscent of a kin in some ways. So why? Why would kin essence flow in such diverse forms of life? Why should so many share one taste, one scent? Turning, you notice a Blazetail, alert and yet not afraid, watching you from atop a nearby fallen tree. You did not sense its approach, which is odd. How did the Blazetail approach so stealthily? How did the Blazetail know what was in the Draken's mind? Could it be that the kin entered this sacred domain blindly without knowledge? Why would it do such a thing? Questions, questions, they fall like drops of water from the sky, innumerable and fated, writhing about before being joined by others of their kind. And this is my question to a wandering kin. What do you seek here in the Heartwood? I mean, I don't know. We just want to have a little look around. Tell me about the Heartwood. You inquire as to the name Heartwood. You are under the impression that this was part of your own territory, the Spiritwood, heart of the Great Green. Is Heartwood just another name for your own lands? Does this dragon believe itself to be the greatest power in the green? Does it not know that a far more powerful kin holds a lair which borders its own? Will it only be satisfied by a primitive scent smear of a waste as a territorial sign, not accepting the mark upon all life here as far more elegant proof of the dominion of an elder? Might not a true elder be capable of more than this young kin could imagine? Might it not be on a quest which its young mind could not fathom, and have little time for scent marking, leaving more beautiful things behind itself instead? Why would a young kin assume that there is only one heart of the Great Green, when in fact every being within it flows with the rhythm of life, and its hearts the many? But perhaps we should be more indulgent. How could it know the grand design of the Allminder, to whom all beings are beloved? And how could it know that the Allminder has linked the essence of all beings in this most blessed of greens together as one? Indeed, how could it know? Should we apologize? Would it take offense if we did, or if we didn't? And as a servant of a higher power, would apologizing be seen as improper by our loving Allmother? And should we fear impropriety in Allmother's eyes, as Allmother only responds to impropriety by drawing such beings closer to Allmother? Well, okay, what should we do? What? It's kind of weird. Ask Blazetail for a tuft of its tail fur? Go deeper. Let's go... Can I have a bit of your tail, please? When you at last manage to locate it, Writhe in question is understandably hesitant to let you remove the tuft of its perfect tail, but agrees, in question form of course, to give what you seek if it can bring you a fine long ear to feast upon, and then defeat it in a fair riddle challenge while avoiding thinking of the colour yellow and keeping your tail held to the left. Hunting a long ear is not so very difficult, you manage it eventually, but the riddle contest is harder. Keeping yourself from thinking about the colour yellow is far more difficult than it sounds, but you manage it long enough to arrive at the riddle which would decide the contest. If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't got me. What am I? I'm not sure. Let's try something like treasure. No. The irritatingly clever Blazetail refuses to give you a tuft of its tail and thanks you for giving its body and mind a fine meal. It seems to savour your disappointment before disappearing. Perhaps you'll have to do this in a more direct fashion. Okay, let's go deeper. You attempt to leave Blazetail behind, but when you try to move past the boundary of your own lands, something stops you. You cannot say what, you simply do not feel like going any further. There isn't any scent marker here to ward you off, but you can't. You just won't. You don't belong here. You're not welcome here. At least, not yet. But how did you even know that? Unless... You shake your head to clear it. The power of an elder is a terrific, terrifying thing. You are better off not going deeper for now. Perhaps when you've grown greater. Okay. Let's talk to the Blazetail a bit more. Questions, questions. They cover us like fur. Like the long, weak grasses which blanket Earth's tender parts. And do any of them have, or deserve, answers? Is it not obvious from our scent and essence that we were once but a common, uncommon Blazetail, one who dared to challenge the Allmother, and was engulfed by its overkind spirit, becoming enkindled and serving as herald for the compassionate one? Does it wonder about the Blazetail people, of whom we once were? What could answering possibly accomplish? Should any people give away their secrets for nothing, or even for something? Could such a people endure? And are we even still of such a people? Can anything be certain, except that we are far happier and more blessed than we were when we were Blazetail? Okay. Can you stop asking these irritating questions, though? I mean, why? What do you mean, why? Because you struggle to answer them, because their implications disturb you, because you find them annoying. Whatever the case, how can one be other than what one is? We are a living question, writhing through the green, in our holy mission, are we not? Is there not but one true answer to all of our questions, and do we not both long for it and fear it, knowing that we shall cease to exist if ever it's given? Is that not the sad fate of all questions, to be simultaneously completed and destroyed by answers? Is it joyous or is it tragic? I mean, tell me about All Mother. How shall we describe the living salvation of earth? How shall we express to a curious young kin the fullness of its perfection? Should we begin by describing it as the last of the Crystal Clan, surrendered from, yet bound to all things? Should we hint at the fact that while the last of its relations destroyed, it chose to adopt all beings, from the tiny to the great, as its own hatchlings, and to see their fortunes as its own? And more importantly, dare we reveal even the existence of the grand design, by which we all shall be healed, and the orphans at last shall become the true children? If we were to ask, what would a young kin think of the All-Mother? Sounds heroic, sounds mad. It's an elder, and beyond the judgment of either of us, why do you ask? I mean, why do you ask? No answer. It seems as though Writhing Question is comfortable asking other questions, but dislikes being on the receiving end, a common hypocrisy. Having flummoxed the pedantic fur-piece has granted you a bit of satisfaction, and it does not ask again, allowing you to skillfully evade the question. Good. Let's leave, though. When you arrive back in the spirit wood, the diversity of sense around you is comforting. But was it fear, excitement, or something else that you felt in that place, where many were swiftly becoming one? Dare you return, knowing that you cannot advance? Should you not focus on other, more attainable things for now? Will you ever know the fragile and precious truth of the Heartwood, and how might that truth change you? Splendid. Now you're doing it too. Okay, I think that's enough questions and enough adventures for one day. This is Ushio signing off, and hopefully I'll see you next time.